Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Say What. And I am coming on tonight to talk about our boy PJ Washington and his now baby mama Brittany Renner. So for the last couple of weeks, the story has been circulating around social media and people kind of weighing in and people kind of got different thoughts on the whole idea surrounding by, I guess, the age gap between the two, and then suddenly Brittany, from my understanding, ending the relationship following shortly after a birth of their son, who's only months old at this point. So before we get started, if you can like, share, subscribe. If you do happen to catch this live broadcast, certainly drop a comment and let's just go ahead and get the conversation popping. So PJ Washington. Who is PJ Washington? So let's dive into that. Let's see who he is. Because I will be honest, prior to all of this, I did not know who this gentleman was. So that's not saying a lot because I'm not an avid, I guess, basketball fan. I don't really watch sports. So I enjoy playing softball, grew up playing that. But as far as watching sports on TV, watching the Olympics, Super Bowl, that's probably about as much as you're going to get out of me. Maybe some playoff games here and there, but I don't know who this man is. Now I do, but I did not know who PJ Washington was. So PJ is Paul Jermaine Washington Jr. He's 22 years old. He played college basketball for Kentucky Wildcats after being selected by the Hornets for the first round pick in 2019 NBA draft. With the 12th overall pick, he was named NBA All-Rookie Second Team in 2020. So he's been doing the doggone thing. Now, a person like this, if you are familiar with basketball, with the stats like this, that we're seeing as far as what his playing ability is and, his accomplishments, you know who PJ Washington is if you watch basketball. And for the ladies out there who are watching basketball players, you're probably going to know who PJ Washington is because that's just what you do. That's the culture. So Brittany Renner, the question is, did she prey on PJ Washington? Is PJ Washington a victim? Let's talk about it. Who's Brittany Renner? So let's bring up an article about Brittany so we can learn who she is. Okay. Brittany Renner, 29 years old as of the time of the update of this site, 29 years old. Profession, Instagram star. Dating. At the time, she was dating James Harden. They started dating in 2018. Let's talk about some past relationships. She has not been previously engaged. However, Brittany has been in relationship with Ben Simmons in 2016, Colin Kaepernick in 2014. She's also had an encounter with Trey Songz in 2014. So did PJ Washington know any of this prior to him hooking up with her? I'm going to say at some point early on in their relationship when he met her, someone told him about who she was, and he chose to dismiss it because with the high profile names of men she's been linked to, and you been a sought after basketball player, it's hard for me to believe that someone that does not know her. So let's get into it further. Let me share this article. Uh-oh. Stop sharing. Let me share it again. There we go. Trying to get to the article that has the nitty gritty of what I'm looking for. There we go. Brittany Renner responds to accusations she stalked the 18-year-old PJ Washington, got a baby, and dropped him tweets. So let's get into these tweets. Lies have expiry dates, but the truth never expires. July 28th. Even if you explain yourself, they still wouldn't believe you anyway. So F it, honestly. Laugh my A off. Rock out with your cock out. So here are some responses. You stalked an 18-year-old in college while you were pushing 30 and had a kid with him just to drop him. You're the worst kind of human. Brittany, tell me more, ear emoji. This is juicy. Where's the fun in living a lie? The truth is much more daring. Brittany. Someone tweeted, this man ignored the game. This man ignored the game tape on her and is now stuck paying for it for 18 years. Thoughts and prayers. PJ Washington got to hold this entire L for 18 years. Hey, see, nah, this is weird. Brittany Renner was preying on PJ Washington. He was 18 playing at Kentucky. She was 26, about to be 27. TF, does a 27-year-old have in common with someone who just graduated high school? So as we see, you got some people who aren't necessarily feeling sorry for PJ Washington. And then you have some who's kind of looking at her since she was the older person in a relationship who should have been, the more mature adult. My question is, at the time this young man was entering into the NBA, who was in his circle? Did he have any type of elders or like mentorship? Because I'm finding it very hard to believe that someone did not warn him about her and her reputation. I even read on one of the sites that she actually wrote a book, I believe in 2018, where she was basically doing a tell-all talking about her experiences with just talking about her relationships. So PJ, you didn't know about that book either? I'm just feeling like PJ just felt like he was the man. He was on top, everybody, he was just sought after. And this attractive woman showing interest in him, he just felt like he was special. Fast forward to 2021, he learned that he wasn't. And I think that he's really in his feelings about that. Let's get into another article pertaining to this matter, because it's layers to it, you guys. It's a lot going on with it. It's a sad situation. I'm a mother. I have two sons, and no parent really would want anybody preying on their child. And it appears that that's exactly what happened. Now, do I completely remove PJ, as far as his ownership in all of this and any responsibility? Do I remove him from it? No, because I do feel like there were signs that she wasn't, I do feel like there were signs that she wasn't on the up and up, but he still chose to bark up that tree anyway. Because like I said, I feel like PJ Washington thought he was special. Brittany Renner truly played the long game by seducing a teenage PJ Washington at Kentucky. He got so caught up that he ignored her game film online, got her pregnant, and now realizes he was played the entire time. You hate to see it. How long have we been seeing this type of behavior take place when it comes to women, thoughts, groupies, whatever you want to call it, and high profile men? Like, this has been going on for a long time. So do we still feel sorry when this happens again, even though, say, he was 18 when she got with him? He still continued to grow as they were together. At what point do you wake up and realize or acknowledge that what you have isn't anything but an attractive face, body? And I think that a lot of our men continuously get caught up because they're just focused on the physical. And it's costing them. It's costing them an area of like embarrassment. It's hitting them in the pockets. When you have a child, that's just, you may no longer be in a relationship with that person, but you're still connected to that person because you all still share a child together. Have our boy learned his lesson? So check this out. PJ Washington has already moved on from Brittany Renner to IG model Adriana Brown. PJ Washington was upset about how his breakup with Brittany Renner went. He said that she just used him to get a baby out of him. Then an old video of her saying athletes were the easiest guys to basically trap. According to Osimo, it doesn't seem like he's learned his lesson. PJ has seemed to move on to another IG model, and she's Adriana Brown. He's liked her pics, so it's nothing much yet, but he could be looking for his lady first. So how do you guys think that's going to end? Do you see him moving on to another IG model and the outcome being different? At what point do we say, let's look past social media for our love interests? Like, really, it's like, it's not that deep. Like, when do men wake up and say, okay, maybe that's not where I'm trying to find the mother of my children? Or maybe that's just not even period where I'm trying to find just my lady, my girlfriend, my future wife. Like, Instagram. Like, we all know what this thing is about. Like, it is what it is. This has been going on for many years. Like when dudes, like when do you learn? Here's another interesting article I want to share with you guys before I get off of here. I just want to put this out there to give you something to think about because I'm just curious to know because I'm confused. I'm trying to understand what it is about just thoughts, groupies, how men can just be easily just set up by these women time and time again. It's like they just don't even learn. Brittany Renner responds to rumors that claim Hornets PJ Washington is paying her $200,000 a month in child support after breakup. Brittany Renner would like everyone to know that she is not receiving $200,000 a month in child support from PJ Washington after their breakup. Last week, Washington appeared to accuse Renner of faking their relationship months after the birth of their child in a now deleted tweet. PJ Washington's tweet on July 26, 2021 is, "You was faking it all along." So our boy PJ sound like he in his feelings about getting finessed. Okay, I mean, I can't blame him, but still, like, bro, like the writing was on the wall. What did you think you had? Someone tweeted, "Bro, PJ Washington got to pay $200,000 a month in child support to Brittany Renner. Laugh my A off." Another tweet, "Wait, PJ Washington paying $200,000 in child support a month? Question mark, mind blown." It's unclear where the rumor started, but Renner took to Twitter to quickly shut it down. Now, Brittany's saying she's not getting $200,000 a month, but we all can agree that whatever amount that she's getting or will be getting is going to be a nice chunk of change. I can't help but to wonder if Brittany wanted to actually get married if PJ Washington would actually marry her, because if she was able to get him to have a whole baby with her, to me, he strikes me as somebody that's just not the sharpest and somebody she was able to easily pull one over. I feel like if Brittany wanted to get married, wanted the ring, I just feel like she could have gotten it. But my thoughts is that she's still wanting to play the field. And the money that perhaps he is making right now, she's kind of feeling like, she can get wifed up by somebody who's making more than him. Let me see what his salary, what his net worth is. Let me look up his net worth just out of curiosity, because my thoughts is like, why didn't she just, if she was taking it that far, why wouldn't she have tried to become his wife? Okay. So let me share my screen again, because I want to show you what I found pertaining to, I guess, his net worth. So this is just the one site I quickly found. PJ Washington Jr. PJ Washington Jr.'s source of wealth comes from being a basketball player. How much money is PJ Washington Jr. worth at the age of 22, and what's his real net worth now? As of 2021, PJ Washington Jr.'s net worth is $100,000 to $1 million. Okay, I don't think sis thought that was enough money to be trying to become a wife to. I feel like she just wanted the baby. That's just kind of your reoccurring income, but she's holding out for a much bigger bag as far as when it comes to marriage. Will somebody wife her up? I personally don't think anyone will. I think that she's developed a reputation out here in these streets to where I don't feel that a man with the money that she's going to want, or she's going to look to lock down. I I don't think that they're going to see her as wifey material. I think, she'll be able to play with whoever she wants to play with, but I don't think any men will look at her and want to wife her up. I don't see it because her reputation, it's one thing to still play with someone and they have a reputation, but to still wife them. Kanye West, the only one who I know that did that mess where he wifed somebody who had a horrible reputation. I really can't think of anybody else who did a move like that. And look at him now. He crying on stage at concerts about his decision and nobody feeling sorry for him. So I don't think Brittany is going to look up like Kim Kardashian and have someone worth the type of money that Kanye's worth to wife her up. I don't think so. But I believe that Brittany dipped because the amount of money that he's bringing in, it's not enough. It's not enough to have her to stick around, like I said, long enough to be a wife, to have multiple kids. Like 100,000 to 1 million, that's really not a lot of money for a basketball player, but he's still young. So of course, I believe his earning potential is going to grow, but Brittany wasn't trying to put in that type of time like that. And I believe she wasn't trying to put that type of time in like that because she never was feeling him like that from the jump. So she's like, yeah, it was, I just want to kind of be in it for a minute, just play for a minute, spend some of his money, get a baby out the deal just to have this reoccurring revenue coming each month to pay my little bills. But that was it. It was almost like he was just a playground. Like, oh, okay, well, I'm bored. I'm ready to, move on to something else. And I'm pretty sure she probably had already had her eyes set on it first. Okay, so let me tell you from this standpoint, from a woman's standpoint, for her to abruptly just end things and break up with things, sis already had her eye on somebody else. Let me repeat that again. For her to abruptly end things with him, there was somebody else already she had in mind to replace him with. Now, whether or not we're aware of who that person is as of yet, but please believe there is someone already around. And whoever that person that's around, their money is longer than PJ Washington's. Because what women do not do is that they don't leave somebody with in a one tax bracket and then go to a lower bracket. They're going up the ladder. They're going up the ladder. So it's safe to say that whoever she's entertaining right now, their net worth is more than 100,000 to 1 million. I can promise you that, because it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense for her to dip up out of that situation and just go and just roll solo. No, there's somebody else. It's just a matter of when we come to learn. It's just a matter of when we come to learn who that person is. And it's only a matter of time before it gets out there, but there is somebody. At least one person, maybe multiple people she's entertaining, but the money of the people who she is entertaining is more than what PJ Washington's money is. It's just a sad truth. And again, I go back to, when do our men, in particular, our Black men, learn that you have to protect yourself? You can't just give your seed to any and everyone. You have to wrap it up. Because when you don't, you wind up in situations like this. And I can tell this young man is butthurt. He's embarrassed. He feel like he got finessed. He feel like he was lied to, taking all of those descriptive words. Like, again, like, who was in his circle? Where was a father, elders, like more seasoned athletes to pull them to the side and say, hey, bro, these women, they're just going to be coming left and right. And you just have to be prepared for that and protect yourself the best way you can, because they were going to try to lock you down. And that's exactly what happened. She got the baby, dropped her load, got her body back right from what I can see. And she did. She's gone. Sis is gone and not looking back and laughing. As we went through the tweets, she's laughing. She's taunting people. She's like, she doesn't care because she never did. She's not showing an ounce of remorse because it was never about PJ Washington. It was never about her truly being into him. It was about what he was able to do for her at that time. He served his purpose for the time being, for however long that they were together. He served his purpose. And then when she got what she wanted, she dipped. He's not the first person this has happened to, and he's certainly not the last. Here's something to think about, fellas. I was listening to a male YouTuber, and he talked about how men can actually have a mindset like that to set women up or lock women down by impregnating them, by planting their seeds in them. Because he said that a divorce, you can end a marriage with someone, and be done with them. But when you have a child with somebody, that's forever. So you're forever tied to this person without per se maybe having to be in a relationship with them, but you still have that tie. So it just made me just think about, as far as with women, when they try to lock these men down for whatever reason, whether it be for a check, whether it be for, okay, I just want to have a baby because my friends got babies and I want one. I want to have a baby because I really deep down want to get married, but he ain't trying to propose. So I feel like if I had this baby or get pregnant, he'll be more apt to pop the question and marry me because he want to make us, a family, like things like that. But when this gentleman talked about how men will, they'll more so think along the line of not necessarily, okay, let me plant a baby in her, so therefore we can get married. It's more so out of, I just want to kind of keep her close. Because I've seen people where I felt like that's what happened, where, okay, he knocked her up because he just wanted to try to tie her down. And when with men and women, we have to be smart. When we see, I feel like the signs are there prior to anything like that happening, when somebody just ain't right. I don't know. I just don't feel like people out of the blue just do some trifling, shady stuff. I feel like signs are there when somebody's not on the up and up. Or let's just say you get with a man and he got 5 other kids with 5 other women. Like, that's a sign right there. Why aren't you with any of those women? And now you pregnant and you number 6. Make it make sense. Like, we got to be smarter about this. So now we're tied down. We're locked down with this child. He's gone, living his best life. Or in PJ's situation, the old girl, she done got the baby and now she gone. And then now if he want to see his child, you're going through the courts 9 times out of 10, to get your visitation, because I'm not picking up any impression that him and Brittany are on speaking terms right now. He seems to still be in his feelings. So I imagine it's going to be a little minute before they're able to cordially co-parent, because he feel like she got over on him, which I would say it looks like majority of people feel that she did. But you still were an adult in this situation. You just chose to turn a blind eye and look another direction because what the reality was of your situation wasn't what you wanted it to be. So you put your blinders on. You said, well, I'm going to prove them wrong, that she's only here for a season, for a minute, that she's just using me. I'm going to show them, no, she's here for me. She's not going to do me like she did all those other athletes or musicians, because I'm PJ Washington. Okay. It's nice that you thought highly of yourself, but as we see, it was never about you. And as you were moving in this relationship that was quote unquote fake, as we can see, you thought it was about you, and it never was. It was about her and what she wanted to come up out of it. And that's the same with women. When we get, us women, I'm speaking, as when we get caught up in entrapped and have these babies and, these men babies who choose to not wife us up, the signs were there that he wasn't trying to go down that path with you, because more often than not, he had kids with about 2, 3, 4, 5 other chicks before he even rolled up on you. But you just got caught up in the moment and in whatever sweet things that he was telling you, and you just completely dismissed all that. But then certainly, I call it the NFL Super Bowl halftime 30-second delay. The light bulb goes off when it's all after the fact, after you've made these permanent life decisions with this person, such as having a child with a person. Then you see in that, okay, the reality shows that this person never really had any intent on making a life with you. It was never about that. The entire time, it was about him just trying to lock you down, just like the other baby moms. Again, it was never about you. It was about him and his own selfish wants, needs, whatever he want to categorize it as. So we got to think smart, and we can't let people come into our lives and make decisions that's going to have an impact on us, a permanent impact like that on us. We got to be a step ahead. We got to learn from other people's situations. We don't have to always experience things for ourselves. As athletes, entertainers, we got to look at those that came before us and see what happened with them. You got to be smart. One person I look at and, I see him moving on the scene, and I don't never ever really hear negative things about him, is Master P's son, Romeo. Like, who have we heard that Romeo has made a baby mama, impregnated? Like, you don't hear that type of stuff about him, because I believe the way he moves in a way that he's a step ahead. He's smart about it. To me, that's a sign of he's about his business, and it shows with just what we don't hear about him. We don't hear his name like that out there in the streets. Like, when you hear Romeo Miller's name, it's usually something in a positive light. It's something pertaining to a business move that he's making. It's not really too much associated with drama. Like, the closest I've heard with his name being associated with drama has been connected to Angela Simmons. And it wasn't even his drama. It's just that he dated her before. And when she had drama in her life, people just attached his name to her because that's who she dated when she was saying that she was a virgin. And then we hear that she was pregnant. So I'm still trying to figure that one out, with how you go on a radio interview saying you were a virgin, and then 4 months later, we hearing that you pregnant, and then you was like pregnant as hell. So I'm like, okay, well, when I do the calculations, you clearly was pregnant we're not going to go there. But I'm just saying, this is that stuff that we got to pay attention to. And do you guys think that Romeo hasn't peeped any of that? We haven't heard that he hooked back up with her and decided to give her another chance. No, because to me, in my mind, he's concluded she's for the streets, just as Brittany Renner is. Romeo has paid attention to the signs. It's not about what he wanted to see. It's about what is. And he's like, yo, like, that's the move you decided to make. All right, well, I'm just going to continue to move over here. And he has every right. He has every right. You can't go out there just doing stupid stuff in the streets and then want to circle back around to the person who was there before you left to go to do the stupid stuff and be like, hey, let's go hang out. It doesn't work that way. We got to move smarter collectively as a people. We got to be strategic thinkers. We got to learn from our experiences. We got to do all of that, because that's the only way we're going to do better as individuals and collectively as people. We got to do better. what is it? Each one teach one. Like clearly that need to be a thought process with these entertainers. Each one teach one, because they stay getting caught up. There's always going to be beautiful women around. But fellas, you got to be smart about that. Beautiful women come a dime a dozen. Brittany Renner is not the only beautiful chick out there. There's so many other ones. And if you keep getting caught up in just the looks, you're going to mess around and be broke. Because you're going to be like Nick Cannon out there with all these kids, but without Nick Cannon money. Nick Cannon got the money to be able to be impregnating every third girl on the globe or every third woman on the globe. Most brothers out here don't have money like that. As we said, we saw PJ's, the site. I don't know if it was a accurate site or not, but it said his net worth was 100,000 to 1 million at the time. So that's a nice amount of money, but it ain't enough money to be continue to act reckless out here with these women and to be implanting your seed, which is going to result in you having to pay child support. That money is going to go real fast if you keep operating like that. We got to get it together. So that's what I want to come on and just talk about, because I've been hearing, the story coming up and I just never got around to talking about it. So let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Fellas, do better, please. If not for the sake, just for the sake of your pocket, your wallet. You don't want to be out here looking like who's his name, Dr. Dre, and paying out. Like, listen, do better. But anyway, until the next broadcast. Peace.